Hello, I'm here with Mr. Green again, and he has something to say. This is a controversy over my dress up darling. It's canceled.
Yeah. So
So we'll,
this
yeah,
is
go
this
ahead.
is Red. The channel's Red says or something. What's his name? The channel's
Rez
name.
says Desu or something like that. Here, let
Yeah,
me just double check on it. Yeah, Rev. I've done a video before him. Rev says Des, I
yeah.
guess.
So he talks about the feminist attacks on anime, basically, and he gets the framing wrong.
Yes.
Right, he's actually better than a lot of right wing coach channels. He actually will call them out as feminists,
Yes.
right? Which
Yes.
is a big improvement. So there might be still hope for this guy. He just might be ignorant in a lot of ways, but he does still fall for false framing traps. And you've got to get the framing of this issue absolutely correct. It's not being pedantic. It's very important that you get the motivations of these people correct as well. The feminists doing this.
You're right.
So, and as I think we should explain as we go along as we watch this.
Yeah, so let's play a bit. Just shout stop when you stop.
Okay.
A really strange phenomena that occurs pretty regularly. And to be honest, it's less of a phenomena and more of a disease.
Sorry, I just want to stop here. He says strange. There's nothing strange about this
Yes.
at all.
It's normal. It's the new normal now.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a clout chasing disease. And when it comes to your brain cells, it's fatal.
Yeah, it's not clout.
It's not even clout. He's saying it's fatal to your brain cells. So he's saying, oh, it's stupidity. It's not stupidity,
Yeah.
right? Because the feminists who do this, they get off on it. They enjoy doing it. They bully men online doing it. They stalk anime game makers and anime artists online on Twitter. They harass them and they get away with it, right?
Yeah.
They get away with it. They get off on it. They're not stupid, basically. It's not, I don't understand what's going on. They understand what they're doing and they enjoy it. So they're not stupid. They're nasty. They're malicious, but they're not stupid.
Yeah. Well, the fact that it gets canceled. How is it stupid when they get what they want?
Yeah, they get what they want. It's like the jock that punks the nerd out. The nerd goes, oh, he's just stupid. No, the jock gets away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enter a new round of seasonal anime, there's bound to be one or two that get very popular. My Dress Up Darling is the latest example of that. And as you may guess, with popularity comes opportunity. An opportunity to earn internet points.
Yes, he thinks, oh, it's just attention seekers. And that may be a small part of it, but it's not the main motivation of it. Okay. My Dress Up Darling. Men worship women. Men adore women. Their fiction now is about worshipping women that reject them in real life 100%, more or less.
Yes.
Right.
I might do a separate video on this because I find how it's changed. Like if you look at the main character, the protagonist, the male protagonist, he's represents a new protagonist. He's always saying he's sorry and groveling towards this girl and doesn't want to touch her. And I mean, it's really pathetic. I can't get behind this main MC at all. So
anyway, this female worship is going on in the culture, and to the feminists, they still want to take this away because men enjoy it.
Yes.
Basically,
Yeah.
this is the thing. This doesn't get. Feminists are attacking this because they don't want men to enjoy it. Period. That's the only motive.
Yes, and Des or Rev Des or whatever your name is, that's all you have to understand. That's it.
Often gathered through virtue signaling. And speaking of meaningless internet points, I can think of nothing more pathetic than one of its
virtue signaling. There's no virtue to this.
Yes, the virtue signaling is a false right wing term. It's a classic right wing term. Oh, you're just virtue signaling. It doesn't apply to this. This is women trying to censor what men enjoy. Period.
Yeah.
So it's not virtue signaling. It's not. So these women are not pretending to be about virtue. They say men enjoy this. Let's zap it.
Yes, exactly.
Biggest chasers on Twitter, gimmick accounts. Now, for those who don't know, gimmick accounts are dedicated to posting content relating towards a certain theme, often pretty specific, like anime fans posting their L's. And when your entire online presence depends on reposting content made by others, whether it's good or bad, people expect you to stay on brand, but that's not always the case. I mean, it's practically
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So what's going on here? These parody accounts, these fake accounts, right? What they actually are, they're concern troll accounts by feminists. So they'll come in and say, "Oh yeah, I'm part of the fandom. I really enjoy this fandom, but this is really problematic, and it's going to put other people off." And they're false, fake fans.
Yeah,
just come in to pretend fans. They're concern trolling basically they're trying to get people's guard down and trying to get people to agree with them or confuse them.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
Exactly.
a new sport at this point, but watching gimmick accounts break character almost always leads to some of the worst takes you'll ever see,
Well,
which leads us into today's.
Yeah.
Someone needs to create porn for children. Hear me. Young teens are already watching porn, but they're finding hardcore aggressive videos that give a terrible view of sex. They need entry-level porn, a softcore site where everyone asks for consent and no one gets choked. Yeah, women wouldn't watch that. This is abusive gaslighting. So
Yes.
They're lying about what porn is full of, like aggressive stuff. It's not. It's been proven by studies that most people who watch this aggressive stuff is women anyway. It's for them. They like choking and all this stuff. That's for women. They love it. You don't ask for consent for sex in real life. If you did, you wouldn't have sex, right? So you just do it. You enter the mood. You just do it, and you have sex, right? Like women go try and have sex without asking for consent. You don't go like a robot. Oh, can I have sex, please, right now? You basically try it on, and if the person's not in the mood, they push you off and say, "No, I'm not in the mood," and then you stop. That's how it works in real life.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And no one gets choked. The choking thing, women love the choking thing. So this is just gaslighting. Feminists lie about porn on the internet, say it's full of violence, basically. So, and even all this rough sex porn that is on the internet, which is a minority of porn, it's not real violence. That's the lie that feminists tell, basically. Oh, this is violent porn. No, it's not. It's no more violent than violent movies. Violent movies are not real. So-called violent porn is not real. It's actors doing BDSM for the camera and getting paid for it. That's all it is. Yeah.
And the girls love their BDSM.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee they're at least 50%. They're probably, it's probably female majority.
Yes.
I would say.
And the thing is, oh look, everyone, and the thing is, right, is I don't like this. Take it away from everyone else. Basically, that's how controlling these fuckers are.
Exactly.
Video. Now, normally I censor out the identity of Twitter users I'm talking about, but with the topic of today's discussion, it's kind of impossible to not hint towards their identity, but I'll try my best to keep it hidden. So yesterday, a gimmick account dedicated towards posting Gyaru characters from anime and manga decided.
Okay, this is a perfect example of a concerned troll. That's a very beautiful female character, actually. Anyway, series that would be top tier 10/10 if it didn't include sexualizing minors. It's so sad. It is so sad. Right. So she's pretending, oh, this series would be so great if it didn't do what I didn't want it to do, you know? So this whole concept, I'm sorry, this whole concept of sexualizing minors, is it a realistic portrayal of a teenage girl? If it is, there's no problem with it, right? And these are drawings on screen as well. So look, that feminist made cuties, right? And these people don't say jack shit about it. Right, it's the people who whine about cuties are the right wingers who are triggered, tradcons. These feminists don't say shit about it because it's one of our own who made it. It's a complete double standard.
They're the real child porn pushers. The feminists are.
Yes,
you know, they don't mind as long as one of theirs is making it.
Yes, and the thing is, I'm not going to be hysterical and call all female feminist pedophiles, right? Because I don't want to sink to that level. Because I don't pedo smear, but a lot of feminists are the ones who are not even interested in it. They're enablers because when a feminist does it, they don't care. They stay silent, so they're hypocrites.
Yes, complete hypocrites.
Yes.
I had to post their hot take regarding the My Dress Up Darling anime, and boy was it a stinker. Series would be top tier 10 out of 10 if it didn't keep sexualizing minors. It's so sad. It's so sad. Now, the natural response to this magnum opus is, well, these are fictional characters. And obviously we're talking about Maureen, a Gyaru girl who has been the biggest focus of the anime thus far, and colored me a bit confused, but the last time I checked, this doesn't remind any sane person of a minor. Now let me—
Still doing it. Yeah,
exactly. It's not insanity. It's not insanity, right? Because I've seen feminists do this to men who enjoy pictures of adult women, okay? So they'll smear him as a paedophile, or they say, oh, that girl's underage. They'll age consent troll over fictional pictures. And like, it's not even the context of like sexual, it's, oh, I think that girl's cute. And then they'll jump on them for saying that, basically. This is anti-male pedo smearing, and they're not confused, right? And going, oh, it's just a drawing is not going to stop them, unfortunately, because they know it's just a drawing and they want to take away men's rights to look at fictional drawings they don't approve of. That's what the goal is. And it's to smear men as well, to make them feel uncomfortable. And it's just really nasty what they're doing. So what they're doing, these feminists go, oh, men can't leave women alone, you know, men can't leave feminists alone. They're bullying us, they're stalking us online. That is 100% projection on their part. You know what? I would love it if a bunch of trad men started stalking women who wrote romance novels and read them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they'll get a taste of the medicine that they dish out to us as men.
But trad cons are pretty useless that way.
They wouldn't do that. Yeah, well, romance novels are full of rape, basically.
They are.
Sex.
They are.
And like, for example,
go ahead.
What's that really trashy novel? 50 Shades of Grey, right? That has the male character was abused by an older female when he was younger. That's one of the stories in it. And he didn't.
Here's one you may not have heard of. There's a very popular at the time, Clan of the Cave Bear. Mm-hmm. There was basically a human being picked up by a young girl, picked up by and adopted by this Neanderthal tribe, and she was raped repeatedly.
Yeah,
as a girl who just turned like 11 or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, that's very popular, and no one had anything to say about that book ever.
And it was written by a female.
It was written by a woman, of course.
So it's basically a rape fantasy.
It was.
Yeah. Okay. And the thing, look, I've got nothing against that, right? Okay. It's not my cup of tea. I don't want to read stuff like that. But I've got because it's fictional. Like, look, people write stories about serial killers murdering people, right? There's movies about violence. Fictional violence is okay. I wouldn't want to see a movie about that, to be honest, at all. But if it's written, I don't really care. But it's the fucking hypocrisy of it. It's the hypocrisy of it. They get away with it. They don't get touched with their sick fetishes. Basically, they go after men for stuff that's far tamer, tamer.
Because it has nothing to do with the content. It just has to do men like it or not? If men like it,
it's who enjoys it. And like, women are the aristocracy, basically. The peasants don't get to read the forbidden books, but the aristocracy does, basically. That's all it is.
Let me take a step back here and remind us of the type of account making this statement. An account dedicated towards posting gyarus from anime and manga. Here's the definition for those who are unfamiliar. Gyaru or gal culture is a...
So it's an account dedicated to gyru girls. That's a form of anime girl, basically. They're posting stuff from within, trying to undermine the community, attacking it for being sexualizing minors. Sexualizing minors, even though the girl's full-breasted and obviously mature and not a minor.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. And the thing is, I don't know the context of the series. I don't know if you think sexualized or not, basically. What does sexualized mean? Just existing, right? Because there are 16-year-old girls, 50-year-old girls who do look like that in real life, right? So I'm not sure the context of it, but even though when they're not sexualizing them, they'll still accuse them of sexualizing them. So the accusation is meaningless. So these people, they'll wear the label of the anime fan, video game fan, they'll infiltrate and they'll bring up sexualization, how it's problematic. You see, it's an insidious attack from within, and it's got to be rejected 100%.
Yeah. Well, this is why we're really pushing, like, when we're talking about men's rights, we're also talking about something as simple as understanding what's going on and actually putting in shields for this. Like guys who make this content should all getting together and saying, okay, we're letting you know we're not letting this happen. We're not letting it, so block anyone who starts doing this horseshit. You know. So
also we got to get the people who gang stalk artists in legal trouble, because there's some really nasty shit going down on Twitter. Really nasty shit. The Hawkeye Initiative, right, which is an anti-objectification group of feminists who tackle objectification in comic book culture. They're a gang of stalkers. They stalk men online and talk about objectification, attack people for the art they like, and a lot of them give death threats and harass people. Apparently, so I don't know about the death threats. Right, they've implied violence against men as a group. I haven't seen them threaten people direct. I've heard they have, right, and I believe it. But I do know I've seen them stalk the artists themselves and say nasty things about them. And you know what? I've seen the death threats against video game developers. Thinking about it, like this Cyberpunk Ghost Story, they're death threats. You remember that actually? They're talking about hanging game developers. They're calling them incels and talking about giving them the rope. Do you remember that now? I remember that. So
because I gotta admit I don't remember it, but
you did a video about it, Trevor. You did a video about it.
Oh yeah, it was probably long ago. Oh my god.
They'll death threats. They'll talk about there was this anime game called Cyberpunk Ghost Story, and the main character had big boobs, fully mature woman, and they were talking about fucking garbage ass incels making this game. They need to be given the rope. That's what they were saying. They were saying stuff like that, and they're giving loads and loads of messages. And the thing is, the same thing is going on to other artists now. They're getting stalked and harassed.
Okay, let's see how far.
Subculture of Japan that often involves the emulation and use of popular Western fashion trends, tan skin, blonde hair, and excessive use of makeup. This trope largely features schoolgirl aesthetics and is often very sexualized. I mean, any person familiar with hentai or doujins knows that
I wish you wouldn't use that word sexualized, because all it means is that it's appealing.
Yes.
To guys. That's all it means.
Yes.
You know.
Extremely popular tag. It's basically an over-the-top westernized version of a younger Japanese woman, whether in anime or in real life. So seeing a gimmick account dedicated towards commemorating this top...
So this is very important. These feminists are not going to turn around to these girls and tell them to stop dressing up like that. The ones who do dress up like that in real life. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to tell them to stop doing it. Okay? So they can just fuck off then. If they really got a problem with this, which they don't, right? They could go after the girls. They've got a problem with men. Period. And the thing is, they just want to attack men. Period. That's all it is. That's even if this stuff didn't exist, these same women would find another reason to attack men. You see, it's a post hoc rationalization. It's not a dislike of it's not a dislike of the staff. They're not irrational about this. They don't like the men. This is a very important distinction to make.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's the most important.
Yes.
You know. This is the framing you have to use.
Yes.
Topic criticizing My Dress Up Darling for featuring fan service of one of its Gyro characters is rich to say the least. And God forbid one of these maniacs ever read the source material. I know that this was an inevitable.
And they don't need to read the source material because they're not mistaken about anything.
Yes. And also, here's another thing. They're probably reading the source material, they get off on it, and they think, oh, some creepy man's getting off on this. I've got to stop him. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So they want to get off on it in themselves. They're probably sexually titillated by it, probably more than the men are, actually.
Yeah.
So, because if you notice something about women, actually, women like pretty girls a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you look at women's magazines, right? Men's magazines are full of women. Women's magazines are full of women.
Full of women. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Ability for the anime adaptation. And my God, am I praying for these people when the lolly rival of the series will make her inevitable appearance in the anime. Look, man, if this series makes you uncomfortable, I have the greatest solution of all time. Don't watch it.
Okay, that's just lame. Sorry, pal, but this isn't a case of someone being upset because they didn't like the material.
The feminists could go, nope. If they're honest, the feminists would go, nope, we enjoy taking this away from you. We're not going to stop watching it. You're going to stop watching it. That's how they would reply.
Yes.
That's what. Yeah. So that's it. They want to take it away from you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you know? It's like if the KKK went after a black business owner and smashing his shop up, and the black business owner went, "If you don't like my shop, just don't shop here."
Yeah.
The KKK are not going to leave them alone, are they? They're not going to go, "Oh, all right."
So, you're right. My whole was at your shop. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Let's see. I'll pause it. Back again. Let's hear what this one.
It's another video by the same guy.
Yes, above Rav.
I know a lot of people like to hold Japan on a pedestal when it comes to dealing with political correctness, and despite the majority of anime-related controversies beginning in the West, Japan isn't immune from embarrassing cancellation efforts either.
Yeah, because people are just people.
Yeah.
You know, like the women in Japan are the same as the women over here.
It's not just the women. I don't think the women are quite the same. They're the same in Japan, but they're not quite as feminist yet. They're getting there.
No,
that's the impression I get. It's not the women that's the problem. The women are the problem, but the main problem is the men. The men are the same everywhere. That's the main problem, because the men react in the same way, basically everywhere. They either take it passively, or when they do object, they object in the wrong way.
Yes,
they don't understand what's going on.
Yeah. Or refuse to understand.
Yes.
Ooh, base Japan. Nihon sugoi, sugoi. Me gusta las hamburguesas. Yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you guys. Japan has its crop of virtue signalers as well, highlighted by what we're going to talk about today.
Pause.
So looking at this image, you can feel nothing.
I just want to say something. The term virtue signaler is wrong in this context. I think it's not strong enough. That's one of the problems with the term. They're gang stalkers. They're online gang stalkers. That's what they are. They're not an outrage mob. That's another wrong term because they're not outraged, right? They're gang stalker bullies, malicious, psychopath liars. They're feminists, in other words.
Yeah. Other than these two reactions, either nothing at all or a PTSD trigger to more painful memories. Well,
Pause.
This image is the long.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This PTSD. You're just triggered. You're validating their nonsense when you say that. They're not suffering from PTSD. They're not upset. You're validating their claims of offense when you say that. They're not offended, right? They want to take it away from men. These radical feminists, like we've said over and over again, they like the sickest shit imaginable, right? Okay, I promise you. Like, for example, right, if you go to supermarkets and you see the magazines, right? There's the women's magazines, and right next to it are the crime magazines, right? And all these crime magazines, they talk about serial killers cutting up women and children, right? The main market of that is women. Women love sick shit. They love violent, sick shit, period, right? So they're not offended. They're not, right? If they're pretending to be offended is offended at men looking at this stuff. So a woman reading these crime magazines about serial killers, they don't mind another woman reading it, but if they saw a man reading it, they'll go, that's a bit creepy. He might be a potential serial killer. We've got to ban him from reading that. That's how women think.
An unexpected update to the controversy in focus. Now, what controversy, you ask? Well, here's the lore behind all this. A tale of oranges, Love Live, and a scandalous crotch shot. Let's go into it. So back in early 2020, Nishira Mikan, a brand of Mandarin orange grown in Numazu, the city where Love Live Sunshine takes place, selected Chica, the leader of the fictional idol group, as the company's ambassador. And seeing this seemingly innocent ad, the voice actress behind the character attended a related ceremony and even took photos in front of the poster. Now, looking at this image, I mean, do you see anything bad? Probably not. But some larger Japanese influencers noticed a now...
They're not influencers.
Yeah.
Well, they are, I suppose, but the point is they're feminists. So
they're probably definitely are feminists.
Yes.
Basically, it's almost certain that maybe there might be right wing tradcon types.
Yeah.
Basically, as well. That's the two groups. If it's gonna be, I'm just saying that we're not 100% sure because it's in Japanese, but we're like 99% sure it's feminists.
Yeah. Infamous outline around Chica's crotch. One tweet in particular gained a lot of traction and of course started spurring on more tweets and reactions to this poster, claiming it was overly sexualized and inappropriate, which led some Twitter users providing a quote-unquote fixed version of this poster. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the concept of fixing anime-related images is not exclusive to the West. And ironically, in their pursuit of liberating this fictional character, they also decided to raise her skirt up, because God forbid
they're not this thing. Oh yeah, they're just fictional characters. You're trying to liberate them and trying to save them. They say sarcastically. Like I said again, it's an attack and smear men. When they say it's overly sexualizing, what's the implication? It's men enjoying looking at this fictional picture and getting off of it. They're creepy. That's what they're saying.
Yes.
Yes. It's pedo smearing, in other words.
Yeah.
So I don't find this character that attractive. To be honest, it's like
no,
the head's too big.
The head's
too big.
Yes.
Yes, and I prefer older female characters with big boobs, anime characters. So I tend to look at the MILFs and stuff. So, like the thing is, like, to be honest, in my opinion, right, if it was really trying to be sexualizing, they would go for a busty character, but they're not. It's going more for isn't she cute type thing, in my opinion. That's what it's going for more than anything else. And they're interpreting it being sexual to drum up controversy and to go after men.
Yeah.
Above the knee. Am I right? Conservatives from the 1950s? I mean, progressive Twitter users from the past few years?
Yes. Jeez, I hate this.
You've got to stop calling them progressives. They're not progressives. You're giving into their false framing, right? They want to be seen as progressive. And when right-wingers fall for this debate and call them the wrong label and make this a right versus left issue, you're making a tactical mistake. You've got to stop making this. Yeah. They're regressive. reactionary, feminist man haters. They're not progressive. There's nothing progressive about it.
No, exactly. There's nothing progressive of the gender KKK. It's always, like you say, regressive. It's always shutting something down that someone enjoys, and it's harmless.
And these people, they, like I said before, they gang stalk anime artists. I mean, manga artists online, on Twitter. And I think we're going to have to do a video on that in the future because it's a very serious subject, and Twitter needs to do something about it.
Yeah.
So women are not they're not just like tweeting kill on men on the internet with impunity. They're actually going after individuals, male artists, and they go after Western comic book artists as well, and they gang stalk them. You know what? You've done about the Whisper Network.
Yes,
about that.
I do remember my own video this time. Yes.
Yes, the Whisper Network. These feminists, they're all like spreading malicious rumors about comic book companies and comic book artists to try and get them in trouble, right? They're making up fake rumors to go after them. This is how these women operate. They're not just attacking ideas in the abstract. They attack ideas in the abstract, right? Okay. Then it creates a pretext for them to go after men. That's what they're doing. They're laying down the groundwork to go after men. And it's only going to get worse. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's why, again, I say men need to work together to actually start imposing laws against this shit.
Yes. Well, the thing is, a lot of this stuff, a lot of this behavior, there already is laws against it. They're just not getting enforced.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Almost every platform, who am I kidding? Every platform, they just let it get away. As long as women are attacking men, that's it. They just let it go.
The only platform that I've seen that takes action against women inciting violence is Reddit. That's the only one it does it.
Yeah.
And even they don't hold women to the same standards. But if women go too far, they will take action against them.
Yeah.
As I stated, this controversy started in Japan, but it would be a disservice to the narrative to ignore the fact that English-speaking feminists also joined the bandwagon attacking this
wow, he actually said feminists. Good for him. Yeah.
Campaign once it went viral. And perhaps predictably, as the outrage was growing, the scheduled PR event for the campaign was suddenly canceled for what was cited simply as various reasons. But in perhaps the most unexpected...
See, these men folded out of fear. Men are terrified of angry women. They're absolutely terrified of angry. So this is why I tell men in strongman posture to stick up the arse. Because these men in strongman posture, as soon as a woman gets angry, they fold every single time.
They do.
Men are submissive to women. They're submissives. They are submissive. That's male human nature. Men are dominant. They're in charge. They're leaders. No, you're not. You're slaves. You're followers. You're lackeys. That's the truth.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, the only time I see men actually stand up to him like they think they do, people call him abuser, and he ends up in jail.
Yes.
You know.
Twist I've seen, this controversy has been revived nearly 2 years after its canceled campaign. Through the Love Live staff's official Twitter account, the same company behind the archived controversy relaunched their ad once again using the same original image of Chica from the previous 2020 ad, but this time with text conveniently covering the infamous set of lines that sparked the previous
controversy. Then what was the point of it? Why use the original image then?
And they waited 2 years as well.
Yeah.
They waited 2 years. So, yeah.
Pathetic.
So, if they, you know what? If they really wanted to make a point, like it says, look, we're not going to bow to you anymore, and they showed a full image, and they're like, they should do it with a middle finger at going, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
2 years ago. The mistake is that they're selling oranges, because they should be selling nuts, because it took some serious sacking up to relaunch this campaign after everything that went down.
Really? I don't think it took any serious sacking. I mean, they covered her crotch again.
Yeah. And the thing is that if the feminists like get worked up about it, they'll back down again. Trust me.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just a look at what's going on. This is what the culture wars are actually about. This is the real culture war that's actually important, not this left versus right bullshit. It's feminists versus men.
Yes.
So yeah, and they're going around to male fandoms, they're going around to what men enjoy, right? And they're going around attacking it. And a lot of stuff that men enjoy, I don't particularly like, I'm not particularly interested in. I just object to feminists doing this on principle. You see, this is the problem that men have. Men like, they'll go, oh, my fandom's getting attacked, but when another fandom getting attacked, they don't care.
Yeah, they have no
principle. Yes. So So we have to change the culture. This negotiating with feminists, debating feminists, talking to feminists, laughing at feminists, scoffing at feminists. They're not angry, triggered little children. They're gang stalkers, they're malicious, and they're actually very powerful.
Yes, very effective. Excuse me.
Feminists actually need to be banned off the internet, in my opinion, completely. Because as soon as feminists start networking, they start attacking men every single time. All the major social media platforms shouldn't host feminists at all. Period. All feminists should be banned. Every single one of them.
Yes.
Feminism is a hate movement, and it's like some hate movements, right, or weird movements, right? They're not very effective, right? Okay. Feminists are highly effective. That's the problem with them.
Yeah. Well, they're effective because they have no men. There's no one's willing to actually put up any kind of fight.
Yes.
That's it. You know, you don't need to, you know, you don't need a big hammer when someone is just standing there waiting for you to hit them. You can hit them with anything, you know.
Yes.
You can kill them by 1,000 pecks with a needle if you want.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And the mainstream media back these feminists as heroes, and anyone who objects to them is misogynist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the feminists control the media as well. Like, I don't want to hear older men strongman posture and look down on the younger generation. The older generation was the one that folded to the feminists, and they let them take over. And the thing is, feminists didn't do it sneakily. They didn't do it sneakily, right? They'll march on the streets calling men pigs and rapists and scum, and they still let them take over, right? They still let them enter the academia. They still let them enter the media. They still let them enter the government, right? So, and the thing is, the last thing they were taking over was the geek spaces. They left the geek spaces alone because they didn't care about them. And when they started getting prominence and geek culture started becoming popular and powerful, that's when they attacked it. And now they've taken it over. All the major gaming websites are feminist. All the major anime streaming services, right, are feminist. Okay. They control it all now. It's too fucking late, and we've got to fight back and try and claw back. And it's going to take a generation of hard work to do this, and men are not doing this yet.
Oh yes. Matter of fact, I mean, look, there are still guys who will enter our space, and we'll ask them about feminists, and they'll still say, "Well, I understand it was about equality," or they'll say, "Well, the past waves weren't bad, but now it's bad." And it's like, it's so obvious. Like, you have to be really purposely obtusely not seeing what's going on. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh, and also the people go, "Oh yeah, it's only the extremist feminists," right?
Yeah.
What I do with those people now, if I interact with them on social media, I check out their social media history. There was this feminist who's trying to gaslight me. I'm not one of the bad feminists. It's just the extreme radical ones. I'm one of the more moderate ones.
Yeah.
I looked at her social media history, and she was ranting on about men being scum and everything. Yeah. And it's like, okay, fuck you. You're just lying to me. You're trying to gaslight me. So fuck you.
Yeah.
So feminism is 100% invalid. 100% invalid. Stop making excuses for it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Green. It's been a pleasure as usual.
Yeah.
See you around, sir.
Okay.